Welcome back. We are happy to have with us today some experts in the area of active adventure tourism. We have here with us Gergana Nikolova from Adventure Travel and Trade Association. We have Carmen Schrodt from ACTIVIGO Travel and Events, and we also have Elvis Kotheria, Managing Director of Elite Travel Group. So welcome to our panel. So hello everyone. Let me start with Mrs. Nikolova. Can you tell us about your background and the role of Adventure Travel Association in helping communities developing sustainable outdoor tourism?
Hello everyone. Thank you very much for the opportunity. And as everyone else knows, today is a little bit hectic day as I'm alone with my two small children because of COVID, and I don't have any support as kindergartens are closed. So this is the reality we are in. My name is Gergana. Thank you for the introduction. And I am from Bulgaria, and I represent the Adventure Travel Trade Association in Europe and Central Asia. I'm part of this global organization for 7 years now. And we have representation in all continents, basically, as members and as a team. Our community is of about 30,000 people, and these are people who are professionals in the adventure travel. What are we doing? We are responsible for basically driving the energy where destinations have identified adventure and active tourism as an important part of the economy, and we are bringing all these passionate people together at events, and we help them with education and with some insights and knowledge. I still consider myself as a young professional. I can share my background that I have graduated tourism in Bulgaria, and then I did my master's degree in the US at George Washington University. And then I actually, while living in the States, I realized that I really, really miss the Balkans. And I was having a very good job. I was doing very well work-wise. I was working for Starwood Hotels, Sheraton specifically. And my career was going pretty well, but there was just some pain in my heart. And at one point I realized that this is the pain about our culture, our food, our nature. And I decided to actually quit my job, cancel my H-1B visa, which I'm sure that most of you know and is kind of a dream. And came back, and I'm based now in Bulgaria, and I'm fortunate enough to be part of such a global team working in adventure tourism. Thanks to this, I had the opportunity to visit Albania during the past 10 years, probably more than 10 times. And I have experienced it first, actually, when I was 11, visiting Macedonia and Albania together with my family. And then I was combining work and enjoying nature and getting to understand more about Albania. I have visited the north, the south. I had the opportunity to be among the first people, civil citizens, to visit Sazan Island in 2014. So such type of great experiences and adventures have offered me my career. I want to congratulate everyone that is with us today about today's youth holiday, if this is the way it is commented, and I hope that many of you who are with us today can see, if not today, at a later stage, the great potential to move from passion, the travel, into a profession. As I can say that probably this is one of the most positive industries globally, as people usually, I can't say always, as Elvis and others can say, but most of the times people who travel are going with their positive emotions, and it is a positive emotion. So working with people who are in a positive mindset is amazing. So even if you start a career in IT, later you can do a career change. This is totally normal, and I can say that a lot of the young companies nowadays are actually owned by people who have developed a career in another industry, and after that actually realize that while they make good money, actually doesn't make them happy, and they open an adventure company, or offer some kind of an experience related to the travel industry. I'm sure you've heard some data, and I'll be wrapping up. I'm sure that you know some of the data that 1 in every 10 people is one way or another stuck to the travel industry. So from those that we are here today on this webinar, imagine every 10th will be one way or another engaged professionally with the travel industry. And this is exciting. And it is a big responsibility so that we can continue making people happy. And we know that right now, COVID-19 is a challenge for traveling. So it is our joint responsibility to bring back people together, to make them happier, and to be looking forward to visiting amazing places like Albania and the Balkans in general. So with this, I would like to wrap up. I was hoping to have some slides, but this is the reality, and I can share them, and you can see them later. And I hope that I'll see some of you sooner or later in Albania and professionally in the coming years.
Yes, Mrs. Nikolova, we have received a question. Allow me to read it, please, very quickly. So I am Armand Chakali, Secretary General of Albanian Handball Federation. My question is there any way of engaging my sports professionals and amateurs from different generations, from 7 to 30 years old, to get trained for additional outdoor and nature sports like hiking, etc.? We need these because our players have a big problem to stay with us after 18 years old, since we cannot pay them. So if we train them, we give them a payment to stay with us. Is there any idea from your side? And he has also sent a follow-up question, and I quote, "We as a federation have a global network of sports members, audience, and followers, especially in Europe. Me as Secretary General of AHF in Albania take a public commitment to support you both for any project for training to outdoor activities to all our sports members. We give you all the resources we have from European Handball Federation and International Handball Federation to support this initiative. Do you take any commitment on behalf of Adventure Travel Trade Association?"
Absolutely, we do offer training, and one of our trainings is actually focused on guide training, and specifically on the soft skills, the interpretation, which makes leaves the memorable experiences to the travelers. So we have such kind of training programs. We have online training right now, and I would be very happy to follow up personally with sorry, I forgot the name, didn't hear very well, so excuse me for this. So my email is gergana@adventure.travel, and I'll be very happy to discuss this and to jointly come up with the best solution so that we can ensure that the young people stay within our industry. They're well paid. And the last comment that I will mention is that adventure travel compared to any other type of travel leaves most money in the destination. And according to our research and other resources, if a traveler spends $100 at their trip, $65 stays in the destination for adventure travelers. And this is compared to mass tourism, big buses, cruise ships, and so on. These travelers leave off only $15. So you can imagine the big difference. And this means also that your grandmother who can prepare an amazing dessert will be well respected and well paid for this amazing, delicious delicacy that prepares for the travelers. Plus, it will also help you sustain your living. So I hope that we can take this further.
Thank you, Ms. Nikolova. It has been a pleasure.
Thank you, Gergana, and I will chase you this until you get the promise done.
Okay.
And I will follow with Shannon, and we have the commitment. This is a kind of commitment. So
fantastic.
Yes, together we can do fantastic things. I'm sure.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Very much look forward. I miss Albania. I haven't been in Albania for 3 years, and very much. I was planning actually a summer vacation with the family this year. But the reality is it will be postponed until next year.
No worries. I mean, we are here.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So now I want to make a question to Mrs. Schrodt. Can you tell us about the opportunities for active adventure travel and how that differs from other tourism sectors? And what is needed to succeed in this sector?
Well, actually, to answer that question, I would refer to a set of slides that I've been preparing. And happy enough, my kids are not as small as Gerganas anymore. So I'm able to present them because my kids are two sons of 17 and 19, and they are pretty able to care for themselves, and they're pretty well happy that mom is not around all the time anymore. Yeah, so let me let's say give a little bit of a vaster answer to that question by myself sharing my screen and bringing you a little bit closer to the slide that I've been preparing. Yeah. So maybe Elvis wants to say something about myself, or shall I say something to introduce myself at the very beginning?
Yes, I want to. Yes, of course. I want to first of all thank you also because you are not known for the public. This is the second year we invite you. First time as a startup advisor, which we love. So your background, it's not only on the adventure, which you are brave enough, but you are also on the startup environment, which is so beautiful. And I've had a chance to work with you. It's a way different way of learning what I've learned in business, what I've learned in school. Working with you, it's a different experience. I mean, some things I would have not done in my life if we never met together. So this is short, and this is not to give you some credit. Sometimes it's tough, but good things need to go through tough times. Yeah? And I'm so thankful. And I don't mean it. I mean, it's an experience. And I hope you, in our city, but also in Albania, they will learn from you a lot. And I think also with Gergana and also with Armand, which address this very important question on commitment, which we love to have commitments. Together we can do really, and my dream, I spoke to Gergana, to Shannon, and also on our couple, is that we want to implement outdoor activities since the kids are 7 years old. So because they can go out of bad habits, they can, I mean, that's the dream, and we have to build it from the scratch and rise it up to the university. That's our aim here. We have all resources, we have all desire, and we can do that. Maybe this will be first in Albania. Handball Federation could help do it globally. So Gergana, it's your turn now to talk to Shannon, and you also to ride. So yeah, this is it. I don't have. Please, the floor is yours.
Thanks for your kind introduction, and maybe I will add a few personal notes to my background. So I'm one of those that Gergana has before referenced, somebody who has been working, let's say, in the tourism and travel industry for quite a while. You can see I have some gray hairs. So I'm in the target group of above 50 and beyond, actually. About 5 years back, I've decided to put into reality a plan that I have had several years before. I thought, well, on my 50th birthday, I want to be having done the reality to a dream, which is founding an outdoor activity tour operator. So that's why I'm actually today invited to speak to everybody out there in the audience. Also kindly welcome you in the following presentation. Actually, in the moment, I'm based in the Canary Islands, which is also a great destination for anything that is outdoor and active tourism. But I can tell you, by far, Albania has a lot more to give. And I am completely convinced that the country has a great future. Why do I think I can say that? Well, because I was happy enough to last year take the decision, not only every year go to Montenegro and there organize youth camps in the area of Vulcin Rivera, and also in October my first 3 nature park hiking and trekking group. But I took then the decision to explore finally Albania, which was on my plan for 5 years, but my sons would never let me. So last year I made it, and I went to travel with my Jeep. It's good I had the Jeep along, actually, because some streets were really back country that I was traveling, because I was seeing everything, lakes, rivers, mountains, from, let's say, north to south and east, the bordering regions of Greece, Kosovo, North Macedonia, and Montenegro. I'm amazed with the potential, and I will now jump into what of the potential I think you should be trying to exploit and make that a sustainable business potential. Let me join my screen and then see if hopefully I can start up my presentation that I've been preparing those last 2 days for you. And I hope everybody's able to see that now, because I'm now in presentation mode. So what can outdoor activity adventure tourism actually support?
Sorry, we don't see your screen.
You don't see my screen. Well, let me see how I can manage to be able to give you sharing, because actually I said I want to share. So let's see if that works now. Do you see the screen now? No, never.
Yes.
Then let me know if I go in presentation mode, if you can still see it. You still see it?
Yes, we see it.
This is good, so I'm happy. So now I can go in. So there is a lot that outdoor activity adventure tourism can bring, and I will be a little bit more matter of fact than to the statistics. So first of all, let's be aware of that outdoor activity travel is actually booming. So a lot of tour operators, and I'm a very small one with the ACTIVIGO Travels, but they're a lot bigger already. They start to build up actually outdoor activity programs into their old typical leisure and beach tourism activities, because they see that they are missing out target groups, which so far they haven't been attending. So, and also a lot of smaller tour operators, like the one that I founded, are starting up in the source countries I'm coming from. I see 8 probable reasons why this booming is happening, actually. In the society that are more, let's say, industrialized, everybody is suffering high pressure from job and society. There is much more brain work instead of body work. So there's actually a lack of body feel. So this is why people actually don't want to laze around on the beach, but want to be active and moving and using their bodies to have it feel, how it works and what it can do. There is also a search for success and self-esteem self-esteem that actually many people can't fulfill anymore when it comes to job and success in job. Not everybody is as happy as Gergana has been to work with Starwoods, and I've been when working on a high-level managerial situation with Deutsche Bahn in my terms, or with other tour operators. So people try to get, let's say, self-esteem out of sport and out of overcoming challenges. We see the trend for green, sustainable, and healthy lifestyle. So this conveys into the expectation of people going on a vacation, but they want to see that too, which they try to build up in their normal, let's say, living surroundings. Group feeling is searched by many who are singles. In Germany, only to say, we have about half of the households living as single households. So people on vacationing look into getting contacts in a group to feel this social happiness. Also, people have more money around to pay for courses, which you need to know to have, let's say, the sport-based knowledge to do many of the outdoor activities. And also they have the money to pay for either renting or buying the necessary equipment. The life in cities is actually stressful and loud, and much more people live in cities than has been the case 30 years ago. So people go into nature to get some peace of mind. And last but not least, we can see that people tend to more value authentic experiences, not the glass, not the steel, but really the wood, the typical, and the lifestyle and the real when it comes to living and food. Sustainable outdoor activity sports actually are consisting of many kinds of sport types. Let's talk about bike touring for one, which is more the trekking. Mountain biking, which is more the, let's say, high demand mountain sport. Mountaineering and rock climbing also are sport-wise more requiring, but hiking and trekking are more for the Midlands and more soft, also bound for, let's say, family and not so fit elderly. Mountains also offer, if conditions are good for thermic winds, the possibility for paragliding. And in the winter, of course, for ski touring, cross-country and snowshoeing. All of those count to be sustainable because they don't need any big infrastructure, but the equipment. Not to forget about horseback trekking, which is fantastic for the lowlands and the midlands. Kayaking and rafting, which actually, if it comes to whitewater, are more mountain bound, but kayaking can also be lake, river bound, or even along the seashore. And sports fishing can be provided by lake, if it comes to fly fishing, river, and also, of course, sea and coastal fishing. And last but not least, that's an area where I'm most fond of, that is the combination of wind and waves. That can not only be done at the coastal shores, but also can be thought about the big lakes that Albania has. Actually, these outdoor active sports are suitable not only for the younger, the youth, but also for families. Actually, I provide outdoor active tours for family groups, also for youth and youth camps, but also for adults specialized on target groups. So it comes to the level of fitness and to the level of proficiency of those that take part in the programs. And you need to soften, let's say, the program offerings according to your target group. Programs can be offered either as training camps, so people are stable, like for example, in kite and windsurfing. It can be group tours where the whole group actually moves on the trekking, like in bike trekking, when it is river kayaking, or when it comes to horseback trekking. You can provide the services based on day excursions for people that are more leisure and beach bound, but want to have a day experience when it, for example, for mountain biking or a day track or a horseback event. But also you can do courses that are more geared to be learnables when you gather many people that you train for, let's say, a very sophisticated training when it from starters to the proficiency. And also you can provide events that are there for the, let's say, already known. Albania actually has great potential for all of it. So let's deep into this. Only fewer outdoor activity tour providers, though, are using that potential. I've been digging a little bit, and these are three that I've been finding that are already out there, bringing some offers geared to, let's say, part of these outdoor activities. You have potential for hiking, mountaineering, and paragliding. The Albanian Alps, the Peskopi region, our Korça Mountains, and also all of the border crossing facility to Kosovo, to North Macedonia, to Greece, and to Montenegro offer a lot of potential for this. And only very few of them are so far explored from the programs I could be seeing. In wintertime, actually, not much is explored and used yet. You have the potential for ski touring, cross-country, and snowshoeing. Mount Korab region I haven't visited so far, but I hope to be able, Corona-based, to be able to go there in January and February to see what I've been reading. Albanian Alps, I visited myself, and of course know that ski touring is tough there, but cross-country and snowshoeing would be possible. At Korça Darda, I've been finding myself snow in February and know there is potential. Rafting and whitewater kayaking. So far, rafting is actually explored on Jasa River, but you have whitewater kayak potential too. On Sened River and Kier River, I found, let's say, reportages on actually a German whitewater kayak group that has been exploiting there, and it seems to have very good potential that can be further, let's say, elaborated. Horse trekking. In Korça region, I found one provider. In Kavaravasta Lagoon, one provider too, but no more. But you have vast potential, for example, in the Malandaiti National Park and all the other Midland National Parks that I've been visiting. Kite and windsurfing camps. Exploration has been done by Elite Travel Corporation with a kite surfer friend of mine this year, only in August when wind is still good. And we have been finding very good potential in Valiboja, Karavasta Lagoon Beach area, and Darazeze Beach. For kayak trekking and fishing, well, actually Lake Orchid, Lake Prescott, Shkodra Lake, and Komani Lake are vastly, let's say, unexploited yet. Kayaking I've only found to be offered in Komani Lake, but in all the other lakes, no offers are around, but fantastic possibilities are there. Also thinking about the coastal shores in Budrint, Cape Radanit, and some of the, let's say, Albania Adventure, for example, an outdoor adventure already offers some shore excursion here. Well, to embrace actually all of these opportunities, outdoor activity tourism has some needs. And these needs actually also need to be a little bit fulfilled by those that are the regional and local activists and activators. First of all, we need local activity tour providers. Myself, I'm actually a tour provider from Germany. So I look for cooperation partners in Albania that provide reliable organization, have equipment and service, because I don't think to bring all into Albania. I did that already in Montenegro. I actually bought bikes, I bought kayaks, I bought mountain bikes, I brought them down there, because also there, nobody was giving these offers. But hopefully in Albania, I will find, let's say, people who are taking the initiative to be giving local provision of service. Also, these local providers need a very relevant resource. Without certified outdoor activity sport trainers and group guide, nothing is possible. So try to bring them up in your own country instead of other countries importing them. So as of now, I would think about importing sport trainers, importing kite trainers, importing mountain guides. But that's not what I want to do. I want to actually source these services from people that are local. Also, the rural hospitality infrastructure must be built up in the locations where the people go to actually enjoy the outdoor active sports. So while you have a very good provisioning at the sea side area, actually in the backcountry, there is much to be done and built to be able to bring people in these areas and make them overnight stay, enjoy good food in restaurants, and have a good bar. all of this definitely needs financial funding.
Ms. Schrodt,
So
I'm
you need.
interrupting. I would like to remind that we have only 5 minutes available.
Yes, so I will come to a close. So you have to have an education ecosystem to be built up, to build up network economies, to find access to funding banks and to funding, let's say, donors, and last but not least, also to marketing and sales services. So all of this has to be, let's say, brought up to be able to embrace these opportunities. And I invite you actually to become an entrepreneur and to find your niche and opportunity. Like these guys here actually on Ocean Riviera, Montenegro have already done successfully with Kite, and have before told you how much potential I see in Albania to do just the same and copy that very good example. So there are some requirements, but investment is not too big. The infrastructure requirements are not too high, but of course, certified guides and trainers are a must. And of course, a credible, sustainable and service mindset of all staff. And to get support, you need to think about where to get the training and how to build up the training facilities when it comes to the sports expertise, up to a trainer certificate, business administration, marketing, sales skills, leadership and customer service experience, because all of this is needed to make up a good outdoor tour organization. And startup counseling, you should try to knock on the doors of Elbasan municipality, find a support in that center, maybe here talk to Spoonbill or your own chamber of commerce and seek for help. Well, you can think about that experiential adventure education can give you some guidance and a great framework when it comes to know-how for group guidance, know-how for social and outdoor learning, and know-how for stretching the limits of your guests. I invite you, when you later on have access to the presentation, to follow up these links that I have provided here for you for further reading about this very, very valuable framework. That starting up is a project that needs a little bit of experience and a little bit of, let's say, long-term perspective. I've already provided you last year. This is just a reminder of last year's, let's say, presentation that I've given you. And for those that will be trying and brave, this is just wrapped up in this presentation now. And of course, question time is there, so you can ask me anything, if not now, because time is short for this very important topic, but don't hesitate to contact me and I will be trying to give you the support you need.
Ms. Schrodt, I would like your comment about Mr. Chakali's question. I don't know if you heard it or you want me to repeat it.
Well, the question was, I think, probably geared also towards myself as being a tour operator and a consultant in the area of starting up a business, maybe in the outdoor. For the Handball Association, I actually see a very interesting potential here, and I think this association mostly needs to get potential in training. So I can be helpful to build a bridge into the potential training contacts. As of the experimental adventure pedagogic training institutions that are very close to my region in Germany, because myself, I am actually a certified adventure pedagogue, so I have undergone certain curricula and of course have some links. I'm ready to use these links to bring people who are ready to teach and have a very sound background, including master trainings into if sponsors are found to, let's say, also found these trainers. Myself, I'm happy and willing to give my help in building up a curriculum and outdoor activity training, because let's say, I'm a tour operator with, usability in all of these outdoor active sports. Some of them I do myself, and I know which associations in Germany, at least, would be helpful willing to give training in all of these areas, so that a handballer that actually is in need to get other funds to be able to keep up with doing his beloved handball sport, to find the potential to work as an outdoor active sport guide, to get the training in, let's say, for example, kayaking in the area of kite surfing or ski touring or snowshoeing. I would try to be helpful in setting up the curriculum, build the bridge into the associations that are able to give these train-the-trainer training courses, and myself as a person being a startup consultant, I would say actually I'm committed to help three people who are brave enough to say, well, until end of January, I come up with an idea to set up outdoor active business.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Mrs. Schrodt, Gergana, but I want to tell you something, both for you, that we will launch the first startup today, by the end of the day. So I invite you to stay with me and Christy by the end, after the closer, we will launch the first startup. So here is our our turn now to make some things reality. And I'm very happy to having you, Gergana, wonderful Carmen, and thanks Brian for moderating this session. And I think that we have a commitment, and also Armand from the audience who raised all these nice questions and his commitments. And that's why we are here, to commit to change things. So, I mean, thank you to all of you, and I really trust. So a follow-up will be done after this. I mean, we need to give some 2 or 3 days to give some relief to our team, wonderful team that did a great job. And then we will continue immediately with our projects running. Thank you very much for everything.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
And thanks for having
Good
us.
luck, and thanks for leading this, as it's not an easy job.
Thank you very much. No, it's a pleasure. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye.
I want to thank Mrs. Nikolova, Mrs. Schrodt, and Mr. Kotheria for sharing your time and expertise with us today. We would also like to thank the Adventure Travel and Trade Association and ACTIVIGO Travel and Events for their ongoing support of our efforts here in Elbasan, Albania. Thank you once again.